DualSense, a new patent has been filed by Sony, which indicates that they will be able to tell the user purely based on holding the controller, the DualSense controller, and how they've angled it, and how they're moving it around. And I was sort of like reading a little bit about it.
So sorry,
the
telemetry. What is the DualSense again?
What? I don't know. I refuse to say to people what the DualSense is. Everyone knows what the DualSense is.
This is the second time I've had to ask you. I don't know.
You know what the DualSense is? Shut up. Yes, you do. I'm refusing to say what it is.
I specifically mentioned, I did in our run sheet, that the PS5 DualSense.
Why do I just? Everyone knows what the DualSense is. No one knows what World of Tanks is, but everyone knows what DualSense is. But I think things like this, and especially if you add AI with it as well, this actually could be very viable as a solution. But it's one of those ones where it's either it's going to work well or it's going to be horrible.
So you say if it works well, you say it's a solution to what problem?
Oh, so you don't experience this, but if you have a house, I've had share houses where we all have accounts on a PS4 or whatever. And it's annoying. I don't like it. I don't like having to jump in and go, I got to change the account because it's my account. The same as the Switch as well. It has the same thing.
Okay,
you can have multiple accounts.
That's interesting because I like this as hey, this is cool tech. But to me, it's solving a problem that is so first world, it's absolutely ridiculous. If they can do it and it doesn't increase, let's say, the cost of controllers, then all for it. It's a cool little innovation, but you just have to swap your account. I find it.
It's annoying.
Well, the thing is, I can't say how annoying or not it is for PS5, but let's say for Xbox, if someone wanted to swap their account, then essentially you just press the home button and then you just go to account and switch it. I guess it would be quicker, but it is to me a solution looking for a problem, in my opinion. But I like the tech.
I totally disagree.
I like the.
I totally disagree. So in these kind of things, when you look at a core experience that people have with your product, you want to try to remove every single friction point that you can. So whether that's I'm going to go buy a car at a car lot, or I'm going to use this app, or I'm going to go play my PlayStation 5. So if you can figure out a way to remove steps, barriers from that person to achieve their objective, which is to play the game, that's critical. And they're doing this where it seems to be...
People are just lazy.
You're so odd.
What? I'm not odd for thinking this is... To me, I without knowing much about, obviously, the PS5's interface and things like that, I mean, there's bigger problems about, how we handle games and install sizes and things like that. Now, I know they're getting better with that these days, but again, it's like...
Are they getting better with the Microsoft Flight Simulator?
Oh, no, not so much Flight Simulator, but I've heard that they're going to be looking for solutions. That was, to me, my most annoying part about this current gen is just how to handle updates and things like that. But I just think it's one of those, when you're doing some kind of project, at work, and it's this is a very nice to have feature.
No,
in my opinion. See, in my opinion, it's a nice to have.
I get it, but you're wrong. This is core experience. Anything that's core experience that you can improve. If you can make a load time faster, if you can remove screens that don't need to be there, that you're not generating income. Changing accounts doesn't benefit anyone. Changing accounts is annoying. So it's just okay, I'll ask this simple question. You have an Android phone. Do you type in a password to get on your phone?
No, I do not.
There you go. You can enable that. Why don't you enable that? That's the safest way, number one.
Oh, number two, that's just proven your entire point.
What do you mean?
Let's move on.
There you go.
Oh, totally proven your entire point. That was sarcastic, by the way.
No, I've got 1-0 for the podcast up here. And I neglected to mention when we were talking about Gamescom in our great review of that Ratchet and Clank, the one thing that I wanted to mention in that game, and just given that we're talking about DualSense, is that the triggers are going to be adaptive. So the tension of the triggers is going to change depending on what's happening in the game. So it actually can kind of feel like for instance, they say that, you know, if a gun jams, like the trigger itself can be really like hard to press, which like, I don't know, it seems super gimmicky to me, but I'd love some games to really take full advantage of that. I think it'd be really cool. And I know they mentioned it already, but it was reiterated with the Gamescom thing, so I thought it was pretty cool.
I'll just say, don't get me wrong. I think this is cool. I just hope that it doesn't lead to these accessories being more expensive because they've got this new tech in it. Because I think that doesn't the benefit, the cost benefit there doesn't weigh positively in my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And based on what they're saying, it doesn't seem like that at all. Because if they wanted to do this, all they would do is take the touch, like, you know, the fingerprint readers that you already have in all smartphones and everything like that. That's a really cheap component. They could have just added that straight to the controller and made it like just as seamless, really. So the fact that they're not doing that, to me, indicates that they look at this as, you know, some engineers come up with this idea. Hey, maybe we could work this out based on the telemetry data. We can actually detect which user it is. It's like, oh, okay, this is a great win because it makes the user experience better. Doesn't cost us anything. That's always a thing that makes sense, right, in business. And if it's not a lot of work to do it, so